Hi, welcome to Hallie Creations. We're going to take all this fun stuff and we're going to make a wreath. What we'll do is we'll take this ribbon and this wreath form and a whole lot of other fun things and put them together to make a fun kiddo wreath. This would be perfect for any little girl's room or someone that likes dragonflies. But what I started to do first is to prep. You notice there I pointed the length on that. These are 10 to 12 inches loops 2 times. We're going to do about 5 to 6 of those. Then the next ribbon, you'll notice we're going to go a little bit smaller, and then the next one a little bit smaller. So first one about 10 to 12 inches, the next one about 8-ish, and then from that about 6. So let's get those looped around, 2 loops each, and then set those to the side. And you can do 3 loops, it just depends on how full you want it. But what I found when I did this is 2 is more than enough. Even at that, it's pretty full. So let's just get those looped around and set to the side, and I'll be back to talk to you about the next stage. So now that we've put those loops to the side and we have them all ready to go, making sure the lights are working, and then I picked up the mesh ribbon. I know I'm playing with my little gnome there. This I picked up at the Dollar Tree for $1 before it was now $1.25. Now we're going to take this ribbon and we're just going to zip tie it to the wreath form. And what I'll do is I'll loop it and zip tie it per each section. And I'm going a little loosey-goosey on it and being pretty full on it because this is going to be a big fluffy wreath when we're done with it. And I wanted to make something that was super easy peasy for you. This is great for a first time wreath if you've never made one before, because it's just so easy. Super, super easy. So let's just go around the wreath form and kind of zigzag it around and zip tie them on. If you don't have the little zip ties, you can use pipe cleaners. You can even just tie it with ribbon. But if you tie it with ribbon, it's going to slip and fall if you don't double or triple knot it. And then I would just put a dollop of glue on those knots if you're going to use ribbon. So zip tie. Pick these zip ties up at the Dollar Tree. Any hardware store. Harbor Freight has them. They're about $1 a bag. We're wrapping up, zip tying this around. We are going to just finish out that spool. And the supplies I picked up, the wreath form again, and this mesh ribbon, and even the zip ties, Dollar Tree. So you could do something like this pretty inexpensively. Use the colors you want. They don't have to be these colors. This is more of showing you the technique. And as I shared earlier, I just went loosey-goosey. I wanted it to be super easy peasy for you to do. Don't forget to like and hit that follow button if you're watching this on a Facebook feed. And if you're watching it on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any more shares. I have over 300 videos and shorts, and my library is growing every week pretty much. So I don't just do the wreaths, we also do jewelry shares, artistic shares. I love art, and I love making DIY projects. So what I would suggest is just check out my channel, and if you are you like my style and you're interested, go ahead and subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any future shares. And what you can do when you check out my channel is just check out the different playlists I have. So as you're checking out my channel, don't forget to check out the playlist. That will give you an idea of the different things we have on my channel. I have jewelry, wreath making, glass painting, oil painting with palette knife, as well as acrylic painting, collage painting, DIY projects, and the list goes on. So just check out my channel and see if there's anything on there you'd like to learn how to do or just watch. And don't forget to subscribe and set your notify for when I do uploads. You get notified. So much fun. So now we're going to take the bows, and notice how I've taken the ribbon and I'm folding them in half. That's where you can find your center. And now we're just going to do a little snip. Don't go too far because you don't want it falling apart on you. Just a little tiny snip just to give that some flexibility. And for those zip ties can snug in there, for you can twist and pop those bows when you put them on. And you're just going to randomly go around the circle and put those on. Alright, we have used 2 rolls of the mesh ribbon. And I'm going to add one more just to give it a little bit more fillery. It's just too skinny right now. So we're going to add one more, and I'm using one that has like the metallic bling bling kind in it. That way it'll make it pop a little bit more. Go in and fill in some of those gaps and tie on your lights at the same time just to hold them in place. So as I'm putting the ribbon on, I'm adding the lights to it as well. This string of lights I picked up at Michael's, and to know me is to know I got it on clearance after the holidays. So this is actually Christmas lights for wreaths and such. Normally like $14-15, and I picked it up 80% off, so yeah, score. But that's what I do. That's what I suggest, is that even though you're not going to use your supplies right away because you're buying like Christmas for next year, you will be so happy when you have them when it's time to go make something, and that you've saved so much. So after the holidays, for different holidays, you go in at that time, about a week or 2 later, and pick up your supplies for the next coming holiday. So when I saw these, I thought, well, even though they're for Christmas, I can use those for spring, because those are spring colors. And I do the same like for Valentine's Day. I buy red after Christmas, a lot of the red, and I use those for Valentine's Day. So we're just going to go in and we're going to trim down these wires and get this all in. You'll also notice that I'm using a more heavy duty cutter and not my scissors. You don't want to dull your scissors by cutting zip ties. Get yourself some nice cutters. Save your scissors. Save the scissors. Just going to add the little power pack in the back, and I'm just going to zip tie that on to where if I need to change the battery out later, I can. Also, no big deal if you have to cut that zip tie off later and put a new one on to get to the battery. But that's what I do. Nice and snug. So that gives you a visual how it's looking so far. So now we're going to put the bows on. And honestly, after I made this and I was, did the whole thing, I think I would have put a little bit more mesh and less of these bows on there. To me, the bows kind of made it busy, but it is really cute for a little girl's room. So this just gives you an idea of how to do it. And sometimes after you're done making something, you go, I don't know if that's really what I wanted to do. So I actually went through and I cut these bows down a lot, because they were kind of overpowering, but they look really cute. So you'll see where we get these bows on here. We just zip tie them on. You layer them up for when you pop and flip them. They are nice and fluffy. They're so fluffy, and that's what we want to go for. We want them fluffy. Going to trim the zip ties down. Now remember what I said about don't use your scissors. Get some nice strong cutters like these, and I picked these up at Lowe's or Home Depot. Just any hardware store you can pick them up. Even Amazon. Amazon sells everything, but it's better to use these something that's made to cut heavy duty stuff. And these are made to cut wire, so cutting zip ties is nothing for them. Just make sure when you're going through and you're trimming up your zip ties that you're not cutting your wires on your lights. We get to fluff out all these bows, and it'll take a little time to fluff them all out. So we'll zoom through this and you will see the process, and when you're doing it at home, it's going to take you longer because I speeded this up. I know when my niece goes, Kayat, how do you do those so fast? It's like, it's speeded up, honey. I speed up my shares for you not sitting there all day. So we're just going to fluff these out, have some fun with them, and then we're going to add some floral accents and some fun little lollipop accents. And you'll see too where I'm actually going to add another row of white mesh on the back because it just needed that to make it fuller. Just didn't look complete without it. So enjoy, fluff, fluff, fluff. And I'll be back. A little visual of all the fluffy bows. I was thinking about putting my little gnome in there and I decided no. We're going to put the donuts in instead. What little girl doesn't like donuts? And again, these I bought, they're from Michael's actually. I got them after Christmas for like 80-90% off. Because these were accents for Christmas. It's what they call picks. These were Christmas picks. So go through, do a visual, trim up your bows the way you want them to look, make them fluffy. I leave some looped and I leave some cut edged. That gives it some dimension and makes it fill and just kind of pop it. Every wreath needs an accent bow. Not really, but most do. Anyway, we're going to loop this 3 times to give it some fullness. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is what I call bunny ears. You notice I didn't leave a tail on it. I'm going to fold it in half to see the center. We're going to get that ready to go here, and then I am going to take another piece of ribbon, knot it, tie it over to give it a finished look, and tie it on the back. So we're just going to zip tie this in. Bam! So easy peasy. Nice and snug. Knot. We left the tail really long because we're going to tie this onto the back. Once we tie this onto the back, you're pretty much good to go, and now we're going to decorate it. But wait, there's more. I decided to go with some big white fluffy sunflowers on this, and then smaller sunflower accents. Don't forget to use your leaves to give it some color and some dimension. So we're going to lay this out. After we lay it out and we're very happy with how it looks, then we're going to glue it down. You're not going to see me glue it down because, full disclosure, I forgot to record that part. I'm so sorry. I'm like, whoa, I didn't hit the record button. But you know how to glue things down. So always lay it out first to make sure it's exactly how you want it before you glue it down. That's where a lot of people make mistakes. They'll start gluing it down as they do it, and then they're like, oh, I didn't really want that there. So I've learned just to lay everything out, make sure it's how I want it, move it around, and then I glue it down. And just use your hot glue gun and go for it. Once you have it laid out how you like it. So that's what we're doing right now. We're just going to lay it all out. See, those are those fun suckers I told you about, and those are after Christmas. 80-90% off at Michael's is where I got them. Little Christmas picks. So much fun. So everything laid out on it, and magic, bam, it's glued on. So now we're going to flip it over with everything glued on, and we're going to add another row of the mesh ribbon, and I'm going to do white just to frame it. You can do this when you're creating the entire wreath, or you can do it after, like how I'm doing. I just felt like it needed a little bit more to make it look finished. So we're adding just around the edge, each section, just going to loop it and have those loops kind of poke out towards the front to push out your wreath. So now, and we have totally framed it with the white. Doesn't that look so much better? So, and it makes the white and the bows and everything look better as well. So a little transition here for you, and there you go. There's without the white and with the white. Big difference. So thank you for hanging out with me at Hallie's Creations. I had a blast doing this with him for you. And until next time, may you have a good day and a better tomorrow. May the Lord bless you and keep you. And to my grandkids, as always, peace out.